Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Before I jump into today's topic, which is very much related to this in some ways, I want to tell you that for the first time since Black Friday, I have opened the doors to my membership, the Wellness with Vanda Club. I have made some updates to the membership since I closed the doors on Black Friday. Very excited about those. I have adjusted the price. It is now $37 per month, which is actually cheaper than what I was charging before. And the doors are going to be open until Thursday night, March 13th. And I don't know when they're going to open again. Honestly, I just don't know. So jump in while you can. It's the perfect place to get started if you're not quite ready to work with me in a bigger container, a bigger program like Mama's Power Up, where you get like the functional testing and stuff. If you're like, no, I really just need to get the basics down first, and or I can't afford to do Mama's Power Up yet, but I want to see some changes, then get in the club. Start there. Let me support you in that container. Let's see how far we can get you. More energy, more balanced hormones, happier little mama. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Today's topic is how self-care isn't selfish. And I know that we've all heard that before. I know you've also all heard before, you can't pour from an empty cup. These things are so true. And I want to just talk about why self-care isn't selfish and how you frame in your mind what you think of as self-care in the first place. So, when I talk about self-care, I am not always referring to things like massages, pedicures, going to get your hair done, going out for drinks, going out for coffee. Self-care, and honestly, the most important forms of self-care, in my opinion, happen at home, happen within a few minutes of your day. They're not expensive. They're not lavish things. They don't take a ton of time. You guys have heard me talk about my 2NN method before. If not, I know I have a podcast episode about it previously. I don't know which one, but scroll back and find that, or come hang out with me on Instagram, Wellness with Vanda, and I talk about it over there all the time. Um, 2NN is how I get my self-care in on a daily basis. And it's such a powerful thing for my mindset, especially since I've become a mom, because not only am I getting the self-care done, but I'm acknowledging the fact that I get to do at least two things completely just for myself every single day. And that is incredibly powerful when you literally are pouring so much of yourself out for your kids, for your husband, for your family, for a job if you're still working, and just like all of these other things. You get this little, thing for yourself, and it's so nice. So, why isn't self-care, regardless of what you choose for your self-care to be? And I'm not trying to make it sound like massages and pedicures and things can never be your self-care. There's some days that those are my self-care. I literally, as I was recording this episode, remembered that I need to reschedule a massage that I missed 2 weeks ago, because of the stomach virus that hit my family. I try to get one of those once a month, and on that day of the month, you bet your bottom dollar that my massage is one of my 2NNs for the day. And it absolutely counts, and it absolutely fills my cup up, but that's also absolutely not something I can do every single day. So, I just want to give you some encouragement that if you do choose to invest money in the ways that you do your self-care, it's not selfish, it's not a waste, it's not like a silly way to spend your money. When you, as the mom, as like, one of the heads and leaders of your households, the keeper of these little precious beings, when you invest in ways that takes care of you, you are able to better show up as your best self for them, for your family, for all of your responsibilities. And you feel better while you're doing it, and you probably do whatever the thing or things are better. And your kids notice. I can tell you without a doubt that my kids notice when my self-care is lacking. And they don't say those words to me. My husband doesn't even say those words to me, but they definitely notice. My daughter will call me this on all the time. If I am like being short with her or I'm not giving her the attention she wants and needs, I didn't mean for that for her to sound like a brat because that's not at all how I mean it. But like, she'll tell me, she'll be like, she might not tell me right at the moment, but she kind of sulks and tells me later, like, Mom, you hurt my feelings, or it made me sad when you did XYZ, or when you acted such and such way. And when we're having those conversations, like, yeah, there's times that it's like she's being a little too sensitive and we have to have a conversation about her feelings. But then there's a lot of times where I have to then inwardly look and be like, you know what? She's right. I am doing more like doom scrolling on my phone and tuning her out a little bit. And it's not just her, it's all the kids, but she's the one that vocalizes this stuff to me the most. Um, or I am just feeling like really tapped out. And I was so quick to snap earlier when they asked me, that same question 3 times in a row. Um, your kids notice those things and they can't say to you, like, Mom, you need to go take a second for self care because they don't have that language and verbiage yet. But they do notice that you're not your quote normal self with them or your happiest self or your best self. And so the whole point that I am continually making here is just to encourage you to do what you need to do to give yourself care. And that's going to look different for everybody. It might be that you just need to be more intentional about it. It might be that you need to sit down and make a list of the things that you can do on a daily basis as your self care. It might be that you need to reschedule your monthly massage. It might be that you need to make a chiropractic appointment. It might be that you need to pick out a new book that you're going to read. It also might be that you need to do something like join the Wellness with Vanda Club, where I'm going to teach you month by month, give you little tools, tips, and strategies to better take care of yourself. Taking care of your health and prioritizing that is self-care. And it's self-care for like the long game. So it's kind of the best kind of self-care. Um, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there this week. If you haven't done anything today, if you're listening to this episode in the afternoon, please go do something for yourself. Anything, literally anything. If it's morning time, stop what you're doing right now and pick out what 2 things you're going to do today for your self-care are going to be. And if you have literally no idea where to get started, if it's not March 13th yet, then get into the club where I can help you with that and I can teach you and I can show you how to feel like yourself again, how to feel like you're getting time for you again, and that you are still you as a person, not just you as mom and wife. And if it's beyond that, I mean, check in with me. The doors might be open, who knows? But also take time to sit with a piece of paper and a pen and write down the things that bring you joy and then go do more of those things. Okay, love you. Bye. Talk to you next week.